Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we refactor the code from the previous session. I removed the callback, but we refactor it by using the string and smart pointers. Okay, so I will have to modify this to string, and then I have to add another library in order to use the smart pointers. Okay, we're going to reduce the amount of lines of code considerably. So I will be using the string object, I will be using the unique ptr object, and I think that's all. I don't want to use other things. Okay, let's go. Let's start from here. The state. I just remind to you that this is a stupid program that just prints Johnny Bravo USA. Okay, but it is just for educational purpose. Okay, so this becomes string. Given the fact that it becomes a string, now I can do this. Brutally. Yes. That's all that I need to do. I say, you say. So this becomes my constructor. All the logic that there was before goes away. And here too, all this logic here now must go. And this is the final result. So my struct address has become this small. Let's go here. Here we have another char pointer. So we make it a string. What is a string, huh? This string object, what is it? Well, it is an object, and that means that it has what? I do the same thing here now. What it does, it automatically manages its own memory, okay? So it has constructors and destructors of its own, okay? Now I've done the same for name here, so all these allocations here, this allocation for the array can go, and also this, of course, must go. Delete, yes. See how small it's becoming? Okay, so now it's time that we use the smart pointers. The smart pointer unique ptr. So I immediately tell to you that this is no longer needed. Okay, this is not needed. How do I use the smart pointer? Well, I simply write unique underscore ptr, and then in angle brackets, given the fact that this is a template class, I indicate the type which it refers to. It referred to address. Okay, it was struct address. So this will be a pointer to that type, and I say address. Now I have another object here, which is a data member or person. I have the string object here, name, and this object here, address. So before proceeding to change the logic here, I want to just point out this. When I call the constructor here, what happens? It happens that non-trivial types are automatically initialized to their basic type. Okay? In the case of the string, for example, it is the empty string. Okay? But for pointer to characters, well, they are trivial types like integers or other types, and so they are not automatically initialized when the constructor is called. They contain garbage value, garbage values unless I do not um, explicitly initialize them. Okay. Also, I've just told you that the string takes care of its own memory management. Okay, and so we don't have concerns. But this is true only until a certain point. In this case, as things are here, we use operator new special function, and then we use the placement new here to call the constructor. Because of this, we are forced to use this syntax here. We need to explicitly call the distractor and free the memory. Now, let me tell you this. If I had missed to call explicitly the address distractor, even though I free the memory here, my string here in distract address cannot call the distractor, its own distractor, because when a distractor of an object is called, it triggers the distractors, all the distractors of his nested objects. Okay, so our string here, in that case, if I missed to do this, to write this line here, our string would create a memory leak. Okay, and this is extremely important. But enough talking. Let's go forward with the unique pointer. Okay, what do we do? What do we need to do here? We need to say address is equal to what? Unique underscore ptr address. So what am I doing now? I'm calling the constructor of the class, of the template class, unique ptr address. Okay, so what do I put inside the constructor? I initialize the constructor with what? With the memory, with the pointer to address. Always use the no-throw object in order to avoid having to deal with the exception system, with a bad alloc, with a bad alloc exception in case. And so here we call the address constructor. What does the standard new really do? It does three things. It allocates memory, calls the constructor address on that memory, and returns the correct type of pointer, that is a pointer to address. But this raw pointer to address now initializes our object here, that is a unique pointer object. And this object will take care of the memory pointed to by what the new here is returning. Okay, that is by the pointer to address. So at this point, we do not need to do much. We just have to remove what is useless or detrimental. In this case, the entire distracted person must go away. Done. We're done with it. A distractor, though, even though I'm removing the distractor, there is always the default distractor and the default constructor, of course, that they act behind the scenes, okay? Even though you don't see them. You don't have to be concerned with them now. Okay, so here we do the same. We declare a unique pointer. So what is this? This was the allocation for person, huh? So now it's a pointer, a unique pointer to person that I call person. Okay, this is my object of this type. Okay, it is an object. What do I do here? I delete this and I call again the unique. I call again the unique ptr constructor, and I initialize it with what I was doing here was calling on person. Okay, calling the constructor person on the memory located. What does this do now? The standard new, it doesn't throw exceptions because I'm using the no throw object, but it allocates memory and calls the constructor address, not address, sorry, not address, but person on that memory, and then returns the correct type of pointer, a pointer to person, but that is a raw pointer, and we don't want to deal with it anymore. We want our object here to take care of the memory pointed to by what is being returned from here, that is a pointer, an address. So we go on now, and we say if not person, blah, blah, blah. This can go away. This is a string now, so this would trigger an error, compiler error. No need for it. Here, address must stay, but this no is not a string, so I cannot do this. I just check for address. I just check for address here if the allocation has gone right. Okay, was all right. Here now, given the fact that I used the null, the unique pointer, I just eliminate those things. Okay, and this is my final file. Okay, so let's go and compile. Wonderful, no errors. Johnny Bravo, USA. Perfect. So, thank you for following. That's all for tonight. Thank you again, and bye.